Perlmutter. How are you doing? And welcome to the Friday Vibe on Integrity Magazine.
Thank you, Paula. Love Clarke. I'm doing good. How are you?
You've already had a busy 24 hours. Tell us what
I sound doing good.
I'm not giving everyone a flavour of who you are before I properly introduce you. So tell us what your 24 hours have been like.
Okay, I've been doing sort of night shifts at my local Sainsbury's from 10 p.m. until 8 a.m. during COVID. So I've been doing it about 4 or 5 months now, and I did it last night, and I've done it Monday and Tuesday. I did it last night. Left at 5 o'clock this morning. Came home, had an hour's kip. Then I had to be in Holborn at 7:45 for a shoot for a entertainment app, which I was playing the barman. So being behind the bar at like 10 o'clock in the morning was like, oh yes.
Not bad,
yeah, exactly. But I couldn't have anything. Came back about 1, did a little bit of editing on the book, went to bed, had about 4 hours sleep, woke up, just finished dinner, talking to you, and I'm working tonight as well. I tried to get out of it, but they're short staffed, so I'm from 10 to 8 a.m. again, and then I've got 3 nights off.
I think it's amazing. So let me introduce you to everyone on the Friday Vibe, okay, who doesn't know you. So David is such a prolific, just industrious and focused writer. Has 13 books to his name, 4 or 5 true stories. Is it 4?
4 true stories.
4 true stories, one of which is highly successful and has over 1,000 5-star reviews globally, which is amazing. And
thank you.
2021 next year. 2021 sounds so good right now, doesn't it?
Oh my God. I just want it to happen. I want it to be tomorrow.
Exactly. And your book, which you're going to tell us about in a moment, is going to be made into a film.
Yes.
Not just by anyone, but by the producer of The King's Speech, and you could tell us which production companies as well, because they're pretty prestigious and very established. So it's amazing. So author and also extra actor. Not just extra actor. Do you do acting other than?
I've said a couple of lines, but I wouldn't say I'm going to have a cameo role in the movie, by the way.
Let's just call you an actor. David, welcome to the show. Please tell us a little bit about so I've got, this is my first question, right?
Okay, go for it. I'm going to wear my hat.
Anyone who doesn't know you.
My disguise.
So David's had an awful lot of drama, trauma, and life experiences, should we put it like that? And throughout your life, actually, which I can associate with because I've had a lot, but not not the same as yours. And you've turned those experiences into stories, true life stories.
Yeah.
In such a way that you've grasped readers' attention globally. So what made you want to do that? What made you want to turn those experiences, which most people would hide from or run from, have PTSD from, into stories that other people can read? You gave yourself a platform, basically.
Yeah. An open book, I guess. I am very open about everything, obviously. People have said to me, God, people, you get your reviews from around the world and they talk it, they say, what a fantastic story. You've done this, you've done that. Or some have said, what an idiot. I've had, they're not all 5 stars. They are, majority of them, thankfully, but there's
over 1,000 5 stars. Come on.
Yeah, okay. All right. Okay. I don't like bigging myself up, really, but I'll leave that to you.
Yeah,
but I've had 1 stars. Very quickly, 1 star was from America, and this guy wrote, I was expecting a Ernest Hemingway travelogue, but all I got was Austin Powers on holiday. And I've used that. I've promoted that and had baby with the image of Austin Powers, because if you're gonna have a 1 star, have that one.
You like that 1 star.
Exactly. But I think I'll go back to it. But I think if you get all 5 stars on books, it doesn't look genuine. You need the 1s and 2s and 3s, but you can't please everybody. You can't, and that's the beauty of personal opinions, which I've always said. You just cannot please. If you could please everyone, I've put it in a bottle, and I'll sell it. But
well, I don't know. I wouldn't put it past you. Actually, you're pretty you know, what's the word? You're very inventive and you think outside the box all the time, which I love. So, before you became an author, what were you doing?
Well, this is when you're going to lose viewers. Okay. I was an estate agent.
Oh yeah, see, it's gone down now.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's only you and me talking. Yeah, no, I've had quite a number of jobs. I left school, God, 15 and a half, 16, made fur coats when it was okay then to do so.
When it was okay to, yeah.
Yeah, you know, 40 years ago. Jesus, 40 years ago. But yeah, majority of the time, I've always had a sales and marketing background. If it's doing property, newspaper advertising. In fact, when I lived in Portugal for 7 years, and I was working for a newspaper and doing the sales and promoting, and we had a radio show 3 nights a week, which was really good fun. And that is where, in Portugal, was where I started to write.
Yeah.
One Place, One Time. I had my 4th child, Ava, and the mother was obviously dealing with the baby, and so was I, but like breastfeeding and that sort of thing. And what happened in Wrong Place, Wrong Time, or in Marbella, where it occurred, it's always been
book, right. Your first Wrong Place, Wrong Time.
It's always been at the back of my mind, obviously, thinking about it. So I started a blog just about 9 years ago, something like that. I started a blog, and I called it One Place, One Time, and I just wrote what, you know, a few bit of the experiences I had. I'm typing away on the plate on the desk. And my then, she's my friend, but my then editor, Elaine, said, Elaine Denning, shout out to Elaine Denning, said, I sent her a couple of posts about it. She goes, David, this is too good for just a blog post. You have to write a book. So rewrote a book, and within 6 months, I came from Portugal back to England, and we pressed the Amazon button together. And she did say to me, she goes, Dave, just be wary. I said, what? She goes, just be wary. People will, you know, the nature of the story, people will have a go at you and call you this and call you that, because, you know, I wouldn't say I was always innocent. And but I just press it anyway. You know, I thought, hey, what can I lose? And then it's just snowballed from there. And then I've written other books, and I love writing.
So when did you want to be a writer?
Possibly when I started writing the blog, to be honest with you. Not beforehand. I didn't really write a great deal beforehand. Didn't really read a great deal beforehand. I still don't read a great deal, to be honest. I read chapters on Amazon if I'm going through Amazon, but I wouldn't say I'm a prolific book reader, to be honest with you.
Time, man, come on, you didn't have time to eat properly.
No, there it is.
Exactly. Come on, you've got time to eat. There's 1 hour of sleep. Where are you going to read a book?
Exactly, totally.
Well, so this book is getting made into a film.
Yes.
How did that process happen? And so tell us about the project. How did it happen? How did you decide? You know, walk us from A to Z, of the whole process of book through to film next year.
Well, wrote the book. It was on Amazon. I had a lot of people contacting me saying, "Oh, we'd like to produce your film." Not, you know, nothing came of it. You know, you just can't. I've learned being an extra in the movie business, so to speak, and being involved in this. It's such a not flippant. That's the wrong word, but you just, until something signed and sealed, just don't take anyone's word for it, to be honest with you. It's like life. Yeah, it's like life. So I've had, you know, people saying, I want to make the movie. Can you send me a book? I sent them another book, didn't pay for it, that sort of thing. Yeah. My girlfriend goes bad at me. Sending out another book. Come on, it's a business. And so there was a company called Golden Mile Productions, who are based in Marbella, London and LA. And we just got started talking. And that's Alison Cundy and John Santos. And we decided, they want to make the movie. So they sent the contract over. It's all to and throwing. It was signed. Then we got another company called No Reservations Entertainment involved, and they've done a number of films as well, with Firebird, and they've got a number of good actors and actresses in their movies. Judd Nelson for one. And so it was formed like, let's do a movie. This is 2 years ago. Things take time. It really does. It does not happen overnight. It really doesn't happen overnight. So we've got now, the script is just about polished, and we've just waiting for the news of the director. Well, since Mark Foley, I can never pronounce his name, I'm terrible. As you know, on my bio too, I had to have additional elocution lessons.
I'm trying to find his name, actually. Where have I put it?
Faglino, his name is.
Yeah. He produced The King's Speech. He's actually a BAFTA award-winning producer.
He is a BAFTA award. He came on board about 6 months ago, and we had a cast from like Downton Abbey. I just say Downton Abbey, Sanditon, all these programs ready and wanted to be in the film and play me, and they were a fantastic cast. It would have been brilliant. He came on board, which was fantastic work by Alison and John, and he said, right, we need to up the stakes here. If you want this to be a blockbuster, and which I do, this is him saying it, I want it to be, so do I, obviously. We have got to get this director. We have got to get, I need to work with Duncan Jones on Moon, David Bowery's son. And, you know, he's so focused. He goes, right, for the actors, we need to get top-notch actors. You know, we want this to be a blockbuster. So the script had to be changed slightly to be commercial.
Right.
So, yeah, it's 2021 is going to be very exciting. I will have to say goodbye to Sainsbury's, thank you, which I can't wait to be honest with you. Well, I mean, what would you do? Stack baked beans in an aisle or be on a film location in Malta and Marbella? It's a tough one, isn't it? You know?
Well, I just have half an hour to think about that.
Yeah, of course you guys.
Well, how does it feel? I mean, tell me your feelings. This is really important, right? Because I believe in the law of attraction, and you know what you focus on, where you put your energy, etc. You know, you can manifest. So you've got somebody out there, me, right? That's what I love. I've got 3 half-written books, and I can see them as films. When I write for a film, right, in my head, and I've been doing that since I was 20, right?
1 year then.
Sorry?
1 year.
1 year. Da da da. So I know that if you can see it, then, and you can feel it, and you know it's going to happen, then you have a great chance of manifesting it. So tell the people watching, what does it feel like knowing that your book next year could change your life? Well, your book getting made into a film next year could change your life.
It's, as I say, once I'm on set and the director says action for the first time, then I know it's even before that when everything's signed up. So yeah, I've been on, you know, there's been highs and lows, you know, 1 minute this is happening, 1 minute it's not. You don't hear anything for a month and you think, is it happening? But it is, because it's all the process and the business in the background. It's, I mean, it will change my life because the film is about me. The name, whoever plays me, I mean, we're going for some decent names, you know, and whoever plays me is going to be called David Perlmutter in the film. So right. When I watch it, it's going to be quite bizarre. And when I actually wrote it, I didn't actually think about the film or anything like that. It was more for me to get it out in the open for therapy, to be honest with you. And it's exciting. But now when I write, I'm doing this crime fiction. I'm writing it, which I've absolutely loved writing, my blood and guts, and gone into it. My editor, my partner Julie, she's loving it too. 10 times, you know, we've gone through it doing it earlier today. And I've done that. I've written that maybe possibly for a TV series, which people do want. But with Wrong Place, Wrong Time, I didn't. But when people read it, even a couple of days ago, I get messages every day from people who've read the book and they go, Dave, I was with you.
Yeah.
I was with you on that journey.
Exciting. Yeah. So you've written that book, then you followed it up with 3 other life stories based on your own experiences. Yeah.
One is called 5 Weeks, and I've got a copy here if you want me to show you.
Yeah. Plug away.
Okay.
This is the platform.
One is well, this is Wrong Place, Wrong Time.
Yeah.
There we go. and that was traditionally published by Austin Macaulay. This one is
that's the one I've got, isn't it? I
yeah,
bought
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. This one is 5 weeks. This is a story about my brother, my twin, actually does the covers, and as you can see, there's a syringe in Statue of Liberty. But that was not me. Obviously, it was my boss at the time. So I went to Pennsylvania I was living in Brighton. I went to Pennsylvania for 5 weeks training for a portrait company. And my girlfriend at the time didn't want me to go, but I said, I'm going. I mean, come on, 5 weeks in Pennsylvania in a place called Altoona, which is near Allentown. So I went there, and my boss at the company was a alcoholic, cocaine addict, woman abuser. And he was it was just a 5 weeks of a roller coaster. It was fantastic I really enjoyed it. I did. But then I met someone, and I stayed on. My suitcase, I was looking up after 5 weeks, I was at New York, JFK, and my suitcase was on the plane, and I stayed. And sometimes I didn't think, but I just get caught up in the moment. So I decided to stay, and I was doing more hitchhiking like I did in one place. So, and the film company wanted to make a movie out of that. So it could be a bit of a franchise. So fingers crossed, of 5 weeks. So that would be great.
So what are the 2 other books, the 2 stories that you wrote after that?
Okay, when I was 21, I thought, right, that's it, Hollywood. Hollywood, I want Hollywood. I'm such a dreamer. And so I wrote a book. So I went to New York to go to Hollywood. I didn't get past the customs at New York. So I wrote a book called 24 Hours in New York, which obviously I spent 24 hours in New York. But I'm telling you something, that 24 hours was fantastic. I was tricked. Even though one of the chapters is titled Pop Star, because the copy even said to me, "We're treating you like a pop star." I was taken out. I was handcuffed and everything on and off the plane. They escorted me on the plane to make sure I got back home. But I didn't do anything bad. It was just something really silly. You got to read the book. But I was staying in a hotel, the Hilton Hotel at JFK, with one main guy, 5 policemen, right? And one of them, I was talking to this guy, and one of the police, and he was saying to me, my relationship is not going very well. So I was talking to him. We're having therapy together. We're having pizza together, and it was just an experience I will never, ever, ever forget. To be honest,
and you wrote about it, so nobody can forget it.
No, exactly.
And you got another one called 13 about when
13. This is 4 major things what happened to me when I was 13 years old. I had a peritonitis when your appendix burst. I was in hospital for 16 days, which is quite a long time for appendix. But they did burst, and the poison was going around me at home. We had 5 different doctors. So that was a bit of traumatic. But again, I was in the hospital for 16 days. I loved it. I just love all these scenarios, to be honest with you. I was 13, so I would love it. And then a friend of mine he's diabetic, and he was having a fit, so I had to get sugar and feed him. He was foaming at the mouth. So I caught up with him 40 years later. He still wasn't foam. Had no more foam. Then I was bar mitzvahed, being Jewish. I was bar mitzvahed, so that it's like you become a man at 13. I've got to become a man at 56. And then another event, which is pretty. I had a music teacher. You have to read it.
Okay, yeah.
You have to read it. It's a bit. I won't say below the belt, but it was a bit
interesting. Yeah. Interesting times.
Interesting times. So they're the 4 true stories, yeah.
And then after you've also got so you're writing. You mentioned it at the moment. You're writing a crime trilogy.
Yeah.
And you've already got 1 book published. Let me just check that out. So you've got.
It's not that big, but this is the cover.
Yeah. Oh, hang on. You'll have to tell me.
Yeah, look at me. Look at me.
I'm looking at my notes. Got my notes. Yeah. So you got Right to Kill. Yeah.
Yeah. Right to Kill.
And Right to Survive is out on the weekend.
Right to Survive will be out. Should be doing final edits tomorrow. You know, I'm going to press it tomorrow night or Sunday. Then I've got Monday off, and I can do all the promoting. And
so
then
the next few days.
Third book is Right to Live, which I'm currently writing. And as I said earlier, I have loved this. I've loved it. It's in the first person, so it's like me, even.
Yes.
And it's dark. It's about an author, a struggling financial writer's block author who wants to become an author for the first time. And he doesn't know what to do, and he's in debt. He's got bailiffs coming at him. He's got he owes a lot of money, and he's got into a wrong gang, and he gets involved with this underground, and he gets paid to do a real hideous crime, and it's a story of trying to escape and this and that. But he writes a book about that, what he's done, and that book becomes a bestseller. So it's like a book within the book.
Excellent, really clever.
And
it's not a true story. You've done the true story, so that's fiction, yeah.
Yeah, even though my girlfriend knows it's not, but it is fiction. I do a hideous crime. But she goes, "This is you, David. You know, this is you." But it's, as I say, it's written in the first person, but I've enjoyed it, and it's dark, and there's some real scenes in it. And the second book, I've I said blood and guts. I've been acting out dialogue. You know, I really have, big time. Even though I'm on my own, when I'm on my own, I'm talking, I'm acting out. I'm getting. God, what do you call it? You know, getting involved with certain objects and so forth, and I love it, and I put it on my blog, and there's like 101 comments so far, about 30 from me saying thank you, and people just want it as a TV series, and Twitter people want it as a TV series, and they've even suggested actors and actresses to play the role. So I've been promoting it. I've been adding these actors in and actresses in, and they come back and said, "I want to be involved. I want to be involved." You know, I've got people. The third book's based in New York, and I've got people in America already want to be featured in it.
Wow!
And it just needs to be optioned. You know, that is what when you're not a celebrity, or if it's not published by a traditional pub, it's very difficult. So I've been promoting it and adding production companies, and they're all aware of it. It's just for them to say, maybe the second book, once it's out, then they think, right, this is serious, we need to do it. But I did write that, as you were saying earlier, I did write that with a TV series in mind as well.
Yes. So just for the readers, you've got a very, very successful blog with over 250,000.
325,000.
There you go. 325,000 viewers. Readers?
Well, visits
on a regular basis. So this is a weekly. Is it a weekly blog?
No, it's daily, hourly. I put things on there. I promote other people. You're on there.
I know. I've been on there a couple of times, haven't I?
I know. Your books.
Very honoured. Thank you very much.
Silly. Very honoured to have you on.
And also your Twitter account. I mean, because you encouraged me to get back into Twitter. I had about 10. I started it 2 years ago, and I think I had 10 followers, and now I've got 150, which isn't great, I know, but I'm not on it. But you've got 55,000 followers, which is amazing. So you're very prolific on your social media. How important, like people who will have to self-promote, like authors, actors, you know, whoever has to constantly self-promote and to their image live, how important is social media? And do you think that Twitter is probably one of the best platforms to promote yourself?
Okay. You have to promote yourself. I mean, there's, you know, it's free. The only investment is time. You don't need to pay for Facebook ads or this or that. You don't need to. And that's me personally. That's, you know, personal opinion. You've got to do it. You have to do it. You've got to promote yourself. No one's going to do it better than yourself. I've written books about it. I'm not saying I know everything, which I don't, but I do cheeky marketing. KJ Walters and Susanna Kelman in America, I've done a couple of podcasts with them, and they say cheeky marketing. So I've written a book about that, and I promote people within my books as well. I've done it's in My Way. It's called My Way, and that's a brand. Few of the books about, you know, blogs, Twitter, what you should do, and so forth. One is called My Way 4, May the Force Be With You. And I'm introducing 13 science fiction authors. And I've got a chapter of one of their books in. I've got given a bit of a profile as well and some images. Another one is called My Way 6, Sex on the Beach. And that is introducing erotic writers as well. So that's, you know, Julie and I, when we were editing their profile and some of their chapters, it was a bit of heart under the collar, but that was good. It was good fun. And then I read another one. It's called My Way 5, about life, and this is the one which really made both of us had a tear in our eye. It's 21 authors who is all about mental health.
Okay.
And they gave us their own experiences, and some, you know, bullying, contemplating, well, depression, contemplating suicide as well. And it really, and that's, I've got a forward by saying the charity on that. So all proceeds of that goes to charity as well. But and all the other ones are about promoting your book. One is called actually My Way to Getting Published, how Wrong Place, Wrong Time became published. So there's always a theme to them. But yeah, Twitter's been fantastic for me. I know sometimes people think it's quite toxic, but it depends what you write on there. If you're going to write something which is really political or really aggressive, you are going to get feedback. So you've got to be careful what you write. Instagram, I haven't been on Instagram for that long, but I love it as well. Facebook, obviously, but do you know the one which has been amazing for me?
LinkedIn.
Apart from Twitter, LinkedIn. 2.5 years ago, I had 150 connections, followers. And my partner goes, Dave, you do nothing on LinkedIn. I said, well, I'm not really a business. He goes, you're a business. I have over 18,000 followers now on LinkedIn, and it has been incredible. I did one post. When we first got these in paperback, Julie took a photo of, she stacked them against the wall, took a photo, and she goes, oh, that looks fantastic. I've got to use that. So I put this thing on LinkedIn, and I said, guess the number of books. And the one, I will pick a random winner, or the closest, and they will win a signed copy. It's still going, this one. I had another guest.
Well, you've never given the signed copy out.
What? Sorry?
Never given the signed copy out.
I've given many signed copies out. But that got 35,000 guesses, 5,000 likes, and it went viral, 70,000 views. Very quickly, I did have one comment from a marketing person in California, and he goes, that is a real shameless free piece of promotion. I said, absolutely. He was having a go at me, you know, and
it might be nicked by said Paula Love Clarke at some stage.
I probably did. Was that you?
No, it will be nicked by Paula Love.
Oh no, someone actually, do you know what? Can I just say, funny you should say that, because someone actually messaged me, goes, I can't use that now. I can't use it. Go use it.
Use it. If everything's been used before, hardly anything is original, right?
So many times. No, go on, use it. Do it. I want to see it.
Everyone, he said I could. Okay, it's on live. He said I could.
No, it's live at 8:28.54 seconds into the interview.
So we're both authors. Let's go back to being an author, right? Because this is because you've written books to help other people. So, you know, the self-publishing, you help indie authors, for example. You've written 13 books to help indie authors.
Friday the 13th, yeah.
And you're actually on the top of the charts of indie authors. Is that right?
Not indie authors. The book Wrong Place, Wrong Time has been a #1 in categories around the Amazon world, in certain true crime, drama, media and law, because the media, there's a guy pulling it who's from the newspaper, and it's law, and it was breaking the law. White collar crime, because being an estate agent, white collar at the time. Biography, drama, who's up there in the top 5 of JK, one of her Harry Potter books, which I really did promote. She never replied to me, that woman. And
to anyone.
No, so marketing's really good, because I put this out. Do authors title their chapters? I always title mine because it's really good for promotion. So like with Right to Kill and Right to Survive, I put certain things, you know. Molly Blue, I don't know if you know a movie called Molly's Game. It's a true story.
No.
About Molly Blue and Jessica Chaniston played her, and I can never say this one. Who's the guy? Luther. I'm terrible.
Idris Elba.
Elba. Right. So they're featured in the book, because I do it as a sort of marketing as well. And so I messaged Molly Bloom and said, "Hey, you don't mind me putting your book?" She goes, "Of course I don't." So I put a lot of people in, and the titles reflect that as well, because to get your book out there, not being funny, whoever does this, you do what you want. But when I look on Amazon, I go into look into the page and I read the first few chapters of the example. That's when I do read. I see chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, and I think they've got to have titles.
Exactly, and you've got to give a feeling of what it's about, what's coming up, what's the taste of the book, what's the taste of that chapter. I always label my chapters. I've got three partially written novels, and they're all of them, because it's the flavour of what the book that next bit coming up is about, right?
Oh, totally. Can I just give you one example, please?
Yeah,
That's okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and I've come straight to it. That is incredible. So, Wrong Place, Wrong Time. I would like, I ended up being wrongfully arrested for certain things. So, when I was being sort of summoned, when I was going to go to court, I had this Spanish counsellor. We were talking when she was telling me what's going to happen, going to see the judge, and you're being charged with this. She actually turned around to me. This is when I did have hair at 27. She actually turned around to me and goes, "You remind," honestly, true story, I can just see it now, like I'm talking to you now. "Can you speak Spanish? Can you do hello, David?" Oh, no, that's not Spanish.
No,
I'll do a bit of accent.
I'll just
do well. She was from Wales. Right,
yeah.
No, she was.
I was going, David. All right. So going Go on.
Costa de Wales. So I was in Marbella in this courtroom, and she goes, "You remind me of someone." I said, "Who?" She goes, "Brad Davis from Midnight Express," which is one of my favourite movies. And I knew Brad Davis not knew him, but of him. Okay. And he goes, and obviously Billy Hayes. He plays Billy Hayes. It's a true story. Have you seen it?
I can't remember it.
Oh, but you've heard of it, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and I've seen it so many times. Actually, I could actually read the script to you now, but I won't. I do it to Julie. She goes, "Dave, just shut up." So I do it. And we start. So, as I said, there it is, Midnight Express.
Oh, right, yes. Yeah. And it's about that conversation and about that.
Exactly. So on my Facebook page, I mean, I could show you on my phone, but I'm talking to you and I can't. But there's a picture of Billy Hayes.
Yeah.
With my book.
I've seen it. I've seen that one. I've seen that picture.
And do you know what? When I got that, I looked at it, I thought, blimey O'Reilly, Billy Hayes reading my book, holding it with a picture saying, "David, I knew exactly what you were going through." He was a lot longer in jail, but he goes, "I know exactly what you were going through." And it's really about how he felt about how his mother felt about him, what he did. And with me, my mum, God, she's 85. Sorry, mum, but she is just so. She's on Facebook more than anybody else. She just she's such an inspiration.
Vibrant 85-year-old.
Oh my God, totally better social life than everyone, even during lockdown. But but that when I got that, it was just so. This is the beauty of chapters. Do you know what I mean?
They're stories within a story, aren't they? A chapter is a story within a story, and you would always give a story a name or a title. So I mean, it's fun now, but lots of people are different. They think, thank the Lord that everyone does have, because it makes the world flavorful, right?
Exactly. No, totally. If everyone did the same, it would become boring. But that's how I roll, so to speak. I always do, and I think about what's in the chapter and so forth. And even if it's one word, and it could be one word out of that chapter, I will pull it in to make it a little bit synonymous with that chapter. But it has to be to do with a little bit of marketing involved. That's me, sales and marketing. Sorry.
Yeah, but it's really helped you because of your sales and marketing background. It's really helped you to focus very much on streamlining where you want your books to go and where you want to be as a writer. And look, 9 years ago, you started writing, and you have achieved so much in that time. And then you'll get your book made into a film. I mean, that's pretty amazing, right? So if you could give any advice to any would-be author or any, new author like myself or anyone wanting to expand their writing skills, what advice would you give anyone wanting to maybe earn an income from writing? Because it's not easy, right?
Hence for night shifts at Sainsbury's. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I know I did it during COVID, but in fact, the money's quite useful, to be honest with you. Obviously, you get used to it, and you're not gonna unless you're already a celebrity and they're going to endorse it, or you're get a ghostwriter to do David Williams. Sorry, did I say that?
No.
And or unless you're a prolific writer already, John Grisham, Stephen King, James Patterson, who are also featured in Right to Survive.
I met John Grisham.
Huh?
I met him. I used to work for a publishing house. I met him.
Did you? And
you're not allowed to ask him to sign your book, and I did because I'm a bit of a rebel.
You rebel.
Yeah. Carry on.
Did he sign it?
Yeah, of course he did.
Yeah.
Right in his face. He had no choice.
Have you got it still?
It was Time to Kill. Yeah, somewhere.
Time to Kill.
I got, yeah, it was at the premiere of Time to Kill.
Oh, wow. Do you know what? I would say the last book, because it was ages ago, but one of the best books. I always remember being on the tube, going to my crappy job in the estate agency, and all I was thinking about was coming home on the train, reading The Firm. That book.
Love The Firm.
Was brilliant.
Amazing book. Absolutely. Yeah. I think reading that made me want to be a writer and create a story more than any other book. I think it was The Firm, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great movie as well. Do you know what? I don't know what inspired me to be. I think people did, to be honest with you, because I was told by one of Julie's colleagues when he loves Wrong Place, Wrong Time in 5 weeks, and he said we were talking about. I was doing a book signing where he works, and he goes, "Have you got any more other books, true stories?" I said, "Well, I've got this one about when I spent 24 hours in New York." Tony goes, "You got to write that bloody book." So I mean, it's a lot shorter. So I did, and then I was thinking about 13, and I knew it would be dramatic because of one particular event, what happened. But I thought, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to do it. What's the worst thing can happen to me? So I did that. But as I said, I love this crime fiction. But for people who think they're going to write this one book and it's going to be the biggest bestseller going, unless you're in advertising like E.L. James, 50 Shades, or Paula Hawkins, or whatever, or The Right Place at the Right Time, it is so difficult. There's 4 million books and growing on Amazon, right? And it's David Weir who wrote oh my god, The Martian, the sci-fi movie. I've forgotten it, with Matt Damon. No, with
I can't remember.
The Martian. I'm not a sci-fi person, but the film was really, really good. And he put that on his blog, and he put chapters on his blog, and then it got picked up about 2 or 3 years later. So it's really just putting it out there. But do not think you're gonna be a massive bestseller. And if you want to go to a publisher, they're going to charge you money. These vanity publishers. The best thing to do, self-publish it on Amazon. You pay Amazon, obviously. People knock Amazon, but without Amazon, you and me would not be writing books. Millions of people around the world would not be writing books. Okay. Also, the pricing. If your first book, don't put it on at $7.99. Honestly, don't. You want to get with Amazon, the more reviews you get, the more they promote it. You have to get a minimum 50 reviews. So put it on 99p or 199p. I know you've worked hard for it, but what's the point in putting it on so much money and no one sees it? There's no point, and do free promos as well, to get sales, get reviews. Reviews are very, very important. And try and get, a good friend of mine who I met at a book club, London Book Fair. He was walking around. His name is Ray. You won't mind me saying. He was walking around with this sci-fi book, and it was like this thick. It was very, very It was honestly all these books together. It was like that thick. And I said to him, yeah, in the pub when we were allowed to go to the pub, you have to put that book. No one's going to read this massive book and take it on the train or anything like that. Or even on Kindle, you'll burn the Kindle out of, 1,000 pages. Do it in book 1, book 2, book 3, book 4, book 5, because people will see that, my God, he's got 5 books on Amazon. You'll sell more. You can put 3 together as a collection as well. What
and
you have to do.
Yeah, I know, I will. And he's got all the content there, isn't he? So it's not like he just has to split the book up and
exactly 5 different covers, and it does look so much more impressive having 5 books in one book. So he's done that, which is great. Book cover is very important because you've got 8 seconds to get that attraction. Thankfully, I've got a very talented twin who does all my book covers, and very, very. It's like if you're buying a car, going through a dating app. You've got to it's got to look striking. Price striking. And if you've got a book and you wanna, and it's not coming out until 2 months' time, put it on pre-order.
Yeah, I agree.
Do 2 or 3 different covers. Put it on social media and get your friends or people to say, which one do you prefer, A, B, and C? Build interest. Get that first chapter done and edited. Put it on your blog. Give people a teaser. Put the link into your pre-order on Amazon. So build up a fan base, and put reviews up on social media. Put little lines from the book on social media. So what I do, I've done so many tweets. I've done about 900,000 tweets, and but people know the book, people know the cover, and people say to me, "I've seen your book everywhere," and great. And if you get bored of it, unfollow me. I don't, it's treat it as your business.
It's really good. I'm scribbling down here. I can't tell you. I'm like, free information.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Of course.
I'm going to be picking your brains in months to come, don't you?
That's fine. And do you know what? Talking about Amazon, right? So it's not as difficult as people think about putting their book on as a Kindle. And you could, if you said to me, because I know we've had a chat before, and if you said, David, can you put my book on Kindle? And I could get your book published within 24, 48 hours. I can do it. People always do it, but there's some people, I didn't know when I first did it, but now I've done it so many times, I can do it. But so that's not a problem. So give me a shout. All right?
I will do. Right, we better wrap this up.
Really? I just want to have a look at your book covers, your new book cover, please.
Right, there you go. Right, so
I love that blue. It's my favourite colour.
Wait a minute. There we are. That was my one that I published in May, my first book.
Yeah.
That's the sequel called A Woman's Ode to Man.
I love that.
Poems from a woman's perspective, and they're quirky. They're quirky things like, I don't know, men's bits and pieces. You want one?
Oh, come on, give me a poem.
All right.
Do it in the style of Pam Ayres.
All right. So it's Friday night. I can talk about sticky stuff, right? Men and sticky stuff.
Yeah, of course you can.
Now it's not the other stuff that your thoughts just went straight to. I'm talking of the gloopy fat that men are quite prone to. The chocolate and the cakes, the biscuits with their tea, and all that super naughty foods that I see you eat for tea. But beware the chicken bomb inside your handsome chest, where all the sticky, fatty stuff is stuck under your breast. Things like that, And it's all about poo, sweet tooth, beards and stashes, scratching, moobs. Got moobs, the belching.
I haven't, thankfully.
No, not it.
Is that on Amazon?
It's on Amazon, yeah. It's on Amazon.
Okay, fantastic. And
it's on Kindle too.
It's on Kindle. Well, yeah, Amazon Kindle sort of.
Yeah, they tie hand in hand. Yeah.
They tie hand in hand, and what you got to do? You've got a number of copies there, right? I want one. I want that one. If you can sign it to Julie.
Yeah.
All right, and then that's where I've got her. I won't say she'll probably be watching this, but yeah, she loves her.
She will watch it.
She will watch it. She loves it. She's a historical fiction fan. That's what she loves. And when she's seeing Right to Kill and what's happening there, it's like not her genre at all. But she reads prolific. She reads every day. She reads every day.
She's an editor, though. That's what she does.
Thank God I'm dyslexic. Her vocabulary is immense. When we're talking, she comes up with some words. I said, hold on 1 second. I just Google it. You know what I mean? That's a range of vocabulary. And
we're very blessed to have her there with you. Not just because she's probably an absolutely amazing woman, but because she's helping with you with your business.
Oh, do you know what? I mean, we've had not fights over right to cure. I don't want to change that. I love that sentence, Dave. You cannot put that in. But I love it. You just can't do it. So she has, I'm actually going to put as a co-author on Right to Survive, because she's worked bloody hard on it. And without her, I'm dyslexic. And when I read back of what I've written, I think, oh my God, did I really write that? And sometimes, even tonight, we were doing a word, and I said, is that how you spell it? And she goes, yeah. It just did not look right to me. But that's being dyslexic.
It's all about visual stuff, isn't it?
Yeah. So, but having her as doing my books is fantastic. But I'm going to give her a rest for a year. So I'm writing another one. But I've got friends who want her to edit her books. Excellent. So she may not do mine, but she could do others anyway.
Last question for you. We could go on for hours, but you also have to work tonight. I
prefer to do this, trust me.
Is as you know, we're Integrity Magazine. What does the word integrity mean to you, David?
Integrity. Number one, I can't spell it, being dyslexic. Number two, no, I couldn't even spell dyslexic. Trust me. Do you know what dyslexic means?
It's not easy.
If you jumble the words, it's sex daily. But check it out. If you spell,
definitely not dyslexic is all I.
Good one.
Not alone, anyway.
It's Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
You were warned.
Oh, I will read it.
Integrity, honesty, loyalty, all those really. But I hate bullshit. I hate bullshit.
So honesty and spade's a spade, basically, right?
Yeah. Backstabbing, talking behind your back, sometimes it's quite difficult. Talk behind my back. No, and jealousy as well. This is all part of the. It depends how it's human beings and how they come across and so forth. And that's honesty is a huge factor, to be honest.
To be honest, right? We will continue this off cam another time. So.
Okay.
David, I'm going to wrap this up. It's been an absolute pleasure and a gift having you on Friday Vibe.
Thank you.
You are so interesting, and I just can't wait to see where your writing career and film career is going.
I better hurry up. I'm 56, so come on.
Have a lovely Friday evening on your night shift, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me.
Share away. Everyone who's watching this, just share, because he deserves all the coverage he gets, honestly.
Thank you very much.
You're
Thanks for the invite. Take care.
You're welcome. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.